Stonehenge. The name itself conjures images of massive stones standing silent on Salisbury Plain in Wiltshire, England. These stones have watched millennia unfold. They are a profound mystery, a prehistoric monument that continues to baffle and inspire us. Imagine the scene thousands of years before our modern cities, before our advanced technologies. People were driven by a powerful idea, an idea so strong it led them to create this enduring enigma. It's more than just a collection of rocks. It's a testament to human ambition, a story written in stone, reaching out from the deep past. It speaks of a connection to something larger than themselves. This ancient marvel wasn't built in a single burst of activity. Oh no, its construction spanned vast stretches of time. Archaeologists tell us the story began around 5,000 years ago. That's roughly 3000 BCE. The first phase wasn't about giant stones at all. It started with a large circular earthwork, a henge. This was a ditch and a bank. Inside this circle, they dug a series of 56 pits. We call these the Aubrey Holes. What were they for? Perhaps timber posts, perhaps something else entirely. The exact purpose remains a subject of intense debate among scholars. But this was the very beginning, the first chapter of Stonehenge. The initial structure laid the groundwork. It marked a sacred space, a special place. It was a declaration. This spot matters. This location holds significance. The people who built it were making a statement. They were investing enormous effort. Think about the tools they had. Antler picks, stone mauls, shovels made from the shoulder blades of cattle. It was backbreaking work, yet they persevered. This early phase set the stage for the even more incredible transformations that were to come. It established a focal point for generations, a center for their activities. Then came the stones. The iconic blue stones, smaller than the later Sarsens but still substantial, made their appearance. These weren't local, they were brought from afar, from the Preseli Hills in Wales, over 150 miles away. Can you imagine the undertaking? Transporting these heavy stones across such a distance, across land and possibly water. This marked a significant escalation in the monument's development. The commitment to this site was growing. The vision was becoming grander, more complex, more awe-inspiring. The blue stones began to shape the Stonehenge we recognize today. A truly monumental effort was underway. The story of Stonehenge unfolds in distinct chapters. Each chapter reveals more about the builder's evolving vision. After the initial earthwork and the arrival of the bluestones, changes continued. Around 2500 BCE, the bluestones were rearranged. Some were placed within the developing stone circle. The famous avenue was also constructed during this period. This was an earthen pathway. It connected Stonehenge to the River Avon, almost 2 miles away. This suggests a ceremonial route, a processional way. Perhaps for bringing important materials or for people approaching the sacred site in a specific manner. The landscape itself was being shaped. Then came the giants, the truly colossal Sarsen stones. This was the third and perhaps most dramatic phase of construction, starting around 2500 BCE and continuing for centuries. These Sarsens are a type of sandstone. They are incredibly hard and durable. They form the iconic outer circle and the inner horseshoe of trilithons. A trilithon is 2 upright stones with a horizontal stone, a lintel, placed on top. These Sarsens weigh many tons, some over 40 tons. That's like several adult elephants. Shaping them and erecting them was an immense feat of engineering, a true spectacle of ancient power. Think about moving these Sarsens. They were quarried from the Marlborough Downs, about 20 miles north of Stonehenge. How did they do it? We don't have a definitive instruction manual, but we can make educated guesses. They likely used sledges, perhaps rolling them on logs. It would have required hundreds, maybe thousands of people, pulling with ropes, pushing with levers, inch by painstaking inch, across challenging terrain. It was a communal effort on an almost unimaginable scale for the time. Pure human power, coordination and sheer determination built this. It's a story of human will. And let's not forget those bluestones again. Their journey from Wales was even more remarkable in some ways. Though smaller than the Sarsens, their origin is so distant. How did they cross the Bristol Channel? Were they floated on rafts? Or perhaps carried overland for a longer, more arduous route? The effort involved in bringing these specific stones from that specific place suggests they held a special meaning. Perhaps they were believed to have healing properties or some other sacred significance. The builders went to extraordinary lengths. The logistics were mind-boggling for a pre-industrial society. This wasn't just construction, it was a pilgrimage of materials. Stonehenge is not just a random arrangement of stones, far from it. It is a precisely aligned instrument. It's a cosmic clock. The entire structure is oriented towards the sky, specifically towards the movements of the sun. The main axis aligns with the sunrise on the summer solstice, the longest day of the year, and with the sunset on the winter solstice, the shortest day. Imagine standing there on those key days, watching the sun rise or set perfectly through the gaps in the stones. It must have been a powerful experience, a direct connection to the rhythms of the universe. This alignment wasn't accidental. It reveals a deep understanding of astronomy. These ancient people were keen observers of the heavens. They tracked the sun's path. They understood its annual cycle. This knowledge was crucial, perhaps for agriculture, for knowing when to plant and when to harvest, or for religious ceremonies, marking important times of the year. The heel stone, standing outside the main circle, plays a key role in this solar alignment. It's a marker, a celestial signpost. The sky was their calendar, their guide, and Stonehenge was their interface with it. A truly sophisticated piece of ancient science. The engineering didn't stop with transportation. The stones themselves were shaped, dressed, using stone hammers or mauls. They painstakingly pounded the surfaces to create relatively smooth faces and to form sophisticated joints. Think about the lintels, the horizontal stones sitting atop the uprights. They didn't just balance there precariously, they were secured using woodworking techniques adapted for stone. They carved mortise holes into the uprights and tenons, protruding pegs on the undersides of the lintels. These locked together like ancient Lego, but on a gigantic scale. Erecting these massive stones was another marvel. How did they lift those multi-ton sarsens upright? And then, how did they raise the lintels to sit on top? They likely dug large pits for the uprights. One side of the pit would be sloping. They would then pull and lever the stone until it slid into the hole, using ropes and sheer human strength, possibly A-frames made of timber. For the lintels, they might have built enormous earthen ramps or perhaps timber scaffolding, slowly, carefully, raising those heavy capstones. It was a slow, deliberate, and incredibly clever process, a testament to their problem-solving skills. So why? Why go to all this trouble? What was the ultimate purpose of Stonehenge? This is perhaps the greatest mystery of all. We don't have written records from the builders. They left no definitive explanations, so we must piece together clues from the archaeology, from the alignments, from the human remains found nearby. One prominent theory is that Stonehenge was a burial ground, a place for the elite, for important ancestors. Many cremated human remains have been discovered in and around the site, dating back to its earliest phases. This suggests a strong connection with death and remembrance. Another compelling idea is that Stonehenge was a place of healing. The blue stones, brought all the way from Wales, are central to this theory. In ancient folklore, some stones from that region were believed to possess magical or curative properties. Perhaps people traveled to Stonehenge seeking cures for their ailments. The sheer effort to transport these specific stones supports the idea that they were considered special, powerful. Maybe it was a prehistoric Lourdes, a destination for pilgrims hoping for a miracle, a sanctuary for the sick and the hopeful. It adds another layer to its complex identity. Of course, the astronomical alignments point towards a function as an observatory, a celestial calendar, a way to mark time, to predict seasons, to understand the cosmos. This doesn't exclude other purposes. It could have been all these things: a multifunctional site, a ceremonial center, a place for gatherings, for rituals, for connecting the world of the living with the world of the spirits and with the vast universe above. Imagine the solstices, the community gathered, priests or shamans leading ceremonies. The stones framing the rising or setting sun, a truly profound experience. Whatever its precise functions, one thing is undeniable. Stonehenge was a place of immense importance. It required a colossal, sustained effort from a large community over many generations. This speaks of a sophisticated social organization, strong leadership, shared beliefs. The people who built Stonehenge possessed remarkable knowledge of engineering, of astronomy, of logistics. They were not primitive, they were intelligent, resourceful, creative. Stonehenge stands today, a silent, powerful reminder of their ingenuity, their ambition and their deep connection to the earth and the sky, a true wonder of the ancient world.